Hi everyone. Yeah, we're recording. Okay. Time is 2:14 p.m. I am in Las Vegas, Nevada with my daughter, Heather. We are going to do our new moon reading for lunation 1196, which is at Virgo 7, keyword restraint. We'll start with a reading of that symbol. Today's date is 8/30/19. And the question is how, always with new moon, how to live this lunation to its full potential. Okay, so I have that marked down. Let's begin with the reading of the symbol from the Sapient Symbols in Astrology by Dr. Mark Edmund Jones. And we are looking at Virgo 7. All right. Here we go. Okay. Virgo 7, a harem. This is a symbol of the withdrawal from reality in one aspect, as a means for regrasping it in another. Here dramatized by an acceptance of regimentation as a species of insulation against life's demand for some more dynamic manifestation of the self. Implicit in the static symbolism is the necessity for using any fellowship in lesser values as a self-strengthening in a definite and renewed struggle towards the greater. An enforced conservation of energies need not encourage a surrender of basic ideals. The keyword is restraint. When positive, the degree is a courageous and complete disregard of limitation by the rejection of its terms at any cost, and when negative, self-betrayal for momentary ease. All right, with that done, let us go to the tarot. Removing, oh, I don't have them on top. Oh, I do have both of them here. Removing one joker. All right, putting it to the side. Inserting the joker for 365 days in the year. And we begin our shuffle. Complete disregard of limitation. A courageous and complete disregard of limitation. How did it say? Let me see. I want to get that positive in our mind. A courageous and complete disregard of limitation by the rejection of its terms at any cost. Okay, wherever there are terms of limitation in our lives right now, we are going to completely disregard those, regardless of the cost. We're going to do so courageously and completely. But we are going to reserve and conserve our energies for a deeper discovery of self. We're going to conserve and reserve our energies. We are going to restrain. We're going to disregard those limitations. We are going to restrain ourselves so that we might discover a deeper awareness of our own selfhood. This isn't about them. This is about us. We're in a harem. We're quiet. Our energies are reserved, conserved for our own purposes. The outer does not tell us who we are. The inner tells us who we are. My tagline for this particular degree is Master Ship, Star, Sky, then Sea. Just a word on that. If you're in a violent sea with the raging waves, you might think the best thing to do is, be panicked and frantic and that all hope is lost. But before we set out on violent seas, we must know the ship. We must know ourselves. This is a call to greater self-discovery. Know self. Mastership. Star. What would that be? That would be our ideal. Our ideal. The star that guides us. Our ideal. Then sky. Then all of the other stars around us. And then the sea will be still. Then the sea will be still. Prioritizing. Know self. Self's ideals. Other selves. Then the environment, the sea, the emotional around us will not be violent. We will be master of our own ship. So that was my thought behind that tagline. Okay, let's see if the deck is ready for us. How to get the most out of this lunation of restraint. No fallout cards. Wonderful. Okay, let's go ahead and cut. And we have a 4 of spades. We must keep cutting. We remember the 4 of spades, don't we? That's the little boy holding his egg. To not give up. To keep your eye fixed on that star. Keep your eye fixed on your treasure. So we keep shuffling. Slowly but surely we come to know the cards. We want a good reading. We want the one that will be most appropriate for us as a group that's listening to this. This will be posted in a Facebook closed group for Sabian Geometry. There are 6 of us, including myself. Whether others join or not is irrelevant. 6 is a power number. We are a power group. Alright, let's see if the deck is ready now. Queen of Spades. Oh, how lovely that she showed up. We're not ready because it's a black card. We're looking for a red card, but how lovely that the Queen of Spades showed up, because she is the one that is telling and directing us to the healing work in the world of healing heartache and sorrow, that the well is neither as dry nor as dark as it seems, that there is never lack of hope. Hope, hope, Pandora's box, the last one out. She sticks around amidst all the heartache. Queen of Spades. Reserve. A well neither as dark nor as dry as it seems. There is always hope. There is always hope. All right, I got a little feel there. Nope, 6 of clubs. I don't know what the 6 of clubs is. I have to really get these shuffled up good. That was our 3rd attempt to cut the cards. I call this Virgo 7 degree of restraint. I call it the Esther symbol. Esther was put into a selection of women for the king to choose from to be his queen. And she was a Hebrew, she was a Jew. And the king ordered that all the Jews be killed, and Esther became his queen. Esther was a woman of not only great faith, but of great courage, and against the king's will or orders, the law, which was no one was to go in front of the king without his express permission, and she had been specifically banned from his presence. She walked across the court into the presence of the king and ended up saving her people. So that's why restraint once she knew her mission, her purpose in life, and once she was willing to be courageous and defy even the king's law in order to fulfill her divine mission, she was rewarded, and she saved not just herself or her family, but her entire nation from the decree that they be killed. So, restraint, knowing who we are, conservation of our energies, is a great, great power. She could have so easily been offended by being in this group of women from whom the king was going to select. She could have been so offended. She could have reacted in such a lower realm, but she didn't. She listened. She obeyed the Lord's will, defied the king's will, and saved a nation. Are we ready? And we have the 6 of diamonds. I guess Esther's story wanted to be told. There are 6 of us in our group, so that's a beautiful card to have. Okay, so let's go ahead and put that up there. 6 of diamonds. I know you won't be able to see this. I'm using my daughter Heather's master's hood from her master's. When she graduated with her master's degree, she gifted this to me. And I thought, what an appropriate shroud or place to lay our tarot reading on. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start with the present deck. And I'm just going to lay this out straight. Ooh. Ace of Spades. Ace of Spades is accounting, a trumpet upraised. A girl, she hears the sound of the bugle, and the eerie, haunting sound of it. It's a call to accountability. A call to accountability. We're 100% accountable for our lives. Okay? So, this is where we start. It's the Death card. At end of an old way, a beginning of a new way. We hold ourselves 100% accountable right here and now. Second house, 10 of Spades. Third house, King of Hearts. Fourth house, King of Spades. Overseer, 5 of Spades. We've got a lot of spades. We've got a lot of spades. And they were showing up. Remember, we had the Queen of Spades. Okay, we're going on to the future now. 7 of Hearts. Where should I put these? 7 of Hearts. No, I want to put it here. I'm doing this the traditional layout this time, whereas I usually do a circle. I'm doing the traditional Sabian Tarot layout. 5th house, 7 of Hearts. 6th house, 8 of Clubs. 8th house, 3 of Hearts. Or 7th house, 3 of Hearts. 8th house, 3 of Diamonds. Overseer, 2 of Spades. Okay, and I realize I made a mistake. I'm going to move these because that is the future. Let me put those up there. Excuse me, that is the past. Let me pick up the future. Sorry, that's mixed up. I have these in the right order. 5th house, 10 of Clubs. 6th house, 9 of Clubs. 7th house, 2 of Clubs. 8th house, Jack of Clubs. A full future of activity. Given that our issue is accounting death to the old way, life to the new way, calling ourselves 100% accountable, and here we have the future. Every single house in the future, 5, 6, 7, 8 are activity. We're going to be very busy. But the Overseer is the 8 of Spades. So we have in the Overseer department of past, present, and future, we have all spades, which means we are given all of this raw substance to work with. In every realm, in the past, in the future, in the present, we have substance to work with, to mold, to make according to our desires and our wishes. In the future, we have all activity. We have a mixture, 3 spades and a heart in the present. And in the future, we have every suit. No, spades doesn't show up. We've got heart, spade, heart, diamond with a spade overseer. Okay, this is going to be an interesting read. Let's get right to it. Again, our Six of Diamonds. How and why was our deck ready to speak to us? Six of Diamonds. Let us go there. Ritualistic level, as always. Six of Diamonds, ritualistic level. We've had it before. Wonder, a large diamond with the power of a lodestone. You've got a lot of power available to you. Ritualistic is vanity. Use care with your pride. This isn't done by you alone. This is accomplished through the partnership with a higher being and the working with the larger pattern and the total oneness of the universe. Here is the cooperation needed. So we are being given our cooperation to go forward from this moment of full accountability. So let us go to that first house and read that outright for everybody's benefit. I'm going to read the symbol, accounting, a trumpet upraised. Here is the issue for this Virgo 7 new moon. He raised the bugle to his lips. The crowd was silent. The breeze was still, and even the birds were quiet. He drew in his breath, and in a moment the first full notes of that hauntingly emotional sound filled the air and struck each ear with the impact of the occasion. This was the moment she had dreaded the most. This sound, like certain fragrances, could trigger her tears with the full nostalgia of what had been. Now would come the accounting, and it was she who was accountable. Ritualistic level, primacy. Having surrendered, you now have primacy over the situation. You have put first things first, or you need to do so. Let the new perspective be in control. All right, what resources do we have? Well, we have the Ten of Spades, so we have a substance with which to work. The Ten of Spades is alchemy, the philosopher's stone, but the key word at the ritualistic level is annihilation. Yes, in the process of the increasing disinterest in things that are of no value, there is a dropping away of these, and they are in that way annihilated, but always replaced with a new and shining facet of the diamond. Journey on through. That's my granddaughter in the background, little Tegan Renee. She's not happy right now. What environment will we find ourselves in? The King of Hearts. A couch of pure white flowers, restitution. Ritualistic level is archetype. It could be that the heavens were the original model, and thus the archetype for all else. Day or night, the pattern exists. Do we have the eyes to see? We're dealing with archetypal energies here in our environments. Archetypal energies see past the human flesh. In front of you is our archetypes presenting themselves to you. All right? Hold on to that concept as you look at an individual. Don't think of them in the lower way. Think of them in the archetypal way. We're dealing with archetypes here in our environment. Fourth house, how is this lunation going to end? Six of Spades. Do we have all the sixes? We've got one. No, we've got two sixes. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. If we have all of one, then it has a special meaning. All right. Six of Spades. Here's how the situation can end, because this is let me look at ritualistic. Yes, this looks like a very positive card in this reading, in this new lunation. So here's how beautifully it could end if we keep these lessons in mind. The word symbol is dolphins at play. At the ritualistic level, the keyword is voyage, smooth sailing. The way is clear, and you are in the flow of it all. Effort is needed, but harnessed and effective, as with the dolphins at play, mobilized. Again, the story of Esther, not thinking about being trapped in a situation she didn't desire, but instead seeing and seizing in it the opportunity she had to fulfill her mission. And in a harnessed and effective way, a special species of regimentation that allows us to get to know ourselves. So this is very much in line with Virgo 7. All right, and our overseer for the present is the Five of Spades, right before the dolphins. Two doors hinged so that to open one closes the other. Ritualistic degradation. This is definitely a lowering of status here. Again, did Esther like the fact that she was thrown into a pool of women for the king to get to choose who was going to be his queen? No, she didn't like that. It's not the Hebrew way. It's not the Jewish way. That was his way, the law of the land way. So there was a degradation. There's definitely a lowering of status here, but that doesn't mean you are defeated. Okay, you may have to make up for this to move ahead, but you are not finished unless you decide that is to be. Wait and deal with the reaction without animosity. Meet each situation with impersonality and indifference. Allow it to present itself to you and then respond. Don't react. Okay? All right. A very good overseer. Let's move into the future now. In the future, we begin with the 10 of clubs in the 5th house. This is our very first step into the future. Let us go to the clubs. Activity. Like I said, everything is activity in the future in this layout, overseen by substance. Okay. In the 5th house, we have the 10 of clubs, a bamboo basket filled with rice, ritualistic decoration. Make it more attractive. Fix it up. Let the decor reflect the occasion. Or maybe it is you who is to be decorated because you did get it done. Again, if you have never seen the movie Esther, this would be a great lunation to watch that and remind yourself that she had, she went through all of the protocol and procedures to get her ready to be presented to the king as one of his options. Again, there was a degradation involved in that, and yet it was protocol. It's what had to be done, and so she participated. The perfumes, the oils, the hair, the clothing that she would wear, the way she was to behave in front of the king, all of these things were taught to her, and it's what she had to do. Did she like it? No, but she did not react to it. She seized the opportunity from it. So don't let your circumstances define you. Let your circumstances cause you to see beyond them and inspire you to what can possibly be done. A quote comes to mind now: some men see the world as it is and ask why. Some men see the world as it might be and ask why not. Why not? Seize the opportunity, seize the moment. Okay, in the 6th house, which is the house of service, we have the one right behind that, the 9 of clubs, just like we had before, right? So here we back it up one, and we find a wooden top among a number of toys. And this is old toy laying there, and it's not doing its job. A top is supposed to spin, but it's just laying there. And so the whole idea of this entire symbol throughout all of its 7 levels is, surely I can still do it. Surely there's still time, and maybe I've been living ineptly, but now I can do it. There's still all the time and chance that's needed to do this at the ritualistic level. The key word is resistance. Can you exert the needed resistance? Can you fight off the unwanted? The unwanted not being circumstances you can't control, but circumstances you can control. So if the circumstances you can control include a negative attitude, can you resist your own negative attitude so that you might see the possibilities? See, resisting something isn't always, and especially in this lunation, it isn't the outer, because you have no control there. It's the inner. Can you resist the negative inner things? There's your opportunity. Can you turn what's dark in you light in you? Can you do that? Can you fight off the unwanted? The negative drift isn't who you are. You're much more than that. Put forth the effort to withstand the onslaught of the old, outworn ways, conditioned, pattern ways, the ways you're always used to reacting in similar situations and circumstances. This is the time to cut those threads. Death to that old way. Death to that old way. This is about a new you, a higher you. These things, these other things, they hold you back from being who you truly are. Get up and act. That's how you can serve self. That's how you can serve self. All right. The 7th house. The 7th house is where we meet ourselves. I'm going to go back here. I feel like going back here. Pardon me just for a moment, because I don't want to speak. I do not want to speak out of turn, and I want to make sure we capitalize on this. All right? I want to make sure we capitalize on this. Okay. Okay, so how can you best be aided at this time of starting to work? No, that's not what I'm looking for. Please lead me to that part that I am looking for. All right, here we go. Thank you. The cooperation. Here is shown the cooperation you can capitalize on to expedite your issue. Or it may address the lack of cooperation, We've talked about the fact that we can't control all outer circumstances. We can only control 100% inner circumstances, how our attitudes are, how we approach things, the frame of mind, the way we are thinking. So here we are going to, the Two of Clubs is going to tell us about that matter of cooperation and what state it's in. All right? Oh, privilege, a royal crown, but at the ritualistic level, it is mischief. As mentioned under superficial, it is necessary to protect yourself from what is undesired here, and you are in a situation where there can be mischief of one kind or another going on. As the relationships are not aligned correctly, do close the door on this, or you aren't ready. We don't have the cooperation, folks. We don't have the cooperation in the outer world. We're being told that. We must remember that. Cooperation is not available at this time. Close the door on the outer. Go within. There lies your opportunity, not out there. In here, restraint. Relationships are not aligned correctly. Be aware. You've been informed. Use this to your good. Cooperation is not available. The 8th house. This is how we might make most avail of the resources of others. So given that there's no cooperation, what can we do? Because we can't make the outer disappear. We can resist it. We can close the door on it. We can go within, but there's still a dealing with the outer world. Can't put our heads in the sand. Esther still had to deal with stuff she didn't like. She couldn't control it all. So what are you going to do? How are you going to take advantage of and expedite the matter of restraint, this lunation, given this situation that there's no cooperation? Jack of Clubs. We have a royalty card. The Jack of Clubs is an ancient sacrificial altar in the open air. No, you're not going to cut off their heads. This isn't the Queen of Hearts. That popped into my mind. Off with their heads. No, we don't get to do that. Flight. Flight. Fight or flight? No. Defined as either an outburst or soaring above the ordinary. So do we want to run away and flee, or do we want to soar above the ordinary? Everybody's just acting ordinarily as they would. You don't get to. You're being called to a higher realm. You get to fly above it and observe it. So let your flight be above these mundane, ordinary, conditioned, oh, so human things going on. Get on up there. Rise on up there. Fly above it. See it. But be the thing that when they might turn and look up to the heavens, they see your light shining. You might be a star for them. If they pause and take a look at what's the common value, what's the ideal, maybe they'll see your star shining. But you have to be that. You can't be down there amongst them. You must fly above it. That's how you take advantage of the situation, is you fly above it. Flight. Give yourself flight. Who oversees this? This is the future, the 8 of Spades. Let us go to the 8 of Spades. Who is our helper and our overseer as we try and do these incredibly godlike and goddess-like things? A spearhead pointed upwards. A rest. As above, it isn't necessary to continue in an unwanted direction, even mentally. Refuse to be a part of a conversation or a thought process that is not your chosen reality. You can stop it. It can be arrested. Refuse all but karma upward. How do you get out of this group of ordinary people? How do you fly above it? You stop being part of that conversation. You set yourself apart. Rise up. stop being a part of the karmic energies of this world. Rise above it. Okay? Rise above it. All right. Well, thank you. All right, now we go to the past. What was this all precedented upon? Well, we start with the 9th house. There was an idea. There was a concept. Something took root. Something seeded our consciousness from which all of this is born. All of these outer circumstances that calls for an Esther to come forward courageously and disregard all limitations, rejecting their terms at any cost. There was an idea implanted in us. Let's find out what it was. It was the 7 of Hearts, so it took place at a very high conceptual level, too. This was no mere thought. This was seeded consciousness. We have to keep it in mind. There was an hourglass, and it was inverted. Something was turned upside down and began all over again. Endowment. Oh, my goodness. The time has come to accept your heritage as it has been given to you. Take a moment here in which to appreciate your support system and the strength of your roots. Even the wizard may be readily at hand if needed. Remember, there is all the time and chance that is needed. This is part and part of the course of the magician's apprentice. You've been endowed. Testing time has come. Don't sink. Stand tall. Shoulders back, chin up. Forward march. Regimentation. It's time to perform your magical duties in the world. It's time to be an Esther among mere mortals. What's in charge here? What is in charge here of this great undertaking? Thank you. A child skipping rope. A little child shall lead them. Vitality, live, call on your vital energy and come alive. Make that top spin. Make that jumping rope whirl. The wonderful thing about the jumping rope symbol is this. You stay still. I mean, you go up and down as the rope goes around you, but you're the stationary thing, and the world goes around you. It's like Scotty in Star Trek that said, I never thought that it might be space that moves, when he was talking about warp drive. But it was his own idea. He read it in the future where he'd written it in the past, and he said, it never occurred to me that space might be the thing that's moving as the jumping rope goes around you. Stay, be who you are, but come alive, jump up and down for joy, but let space move around you. Yours is the power of endurance and survival. Yours is the physical and mental vigor. You are the living symbol of whatever you choose to be. Have you chosen? Why not? Decide. Make it a game. This is the life you were given. Have joy. Have joy in your life. All right, so then we're going to go on to the 11th house. This is the house of karma, interaction with others. We have a new higher concept, an idea coming to us now, a new one to help us out, a harnessed waterfall. Many colors make the rainbow, make the waterfall. The rainbow, when there's a waterfall, you see the rainbow in the mists, always. Proclivity, watch your inclination. The water in the flume flows to a constructive use. Be sure to use your efforts in an equally well-directed way. Make full use of the genius of the other. You're not alone. We're in this together. There's at least 6 of us right here. Okay? Maybe a 7th will join. Maybe that's the invisible fellowship that's here with us, making us the sacred 7. Okay? We're never alone. We're never alone. All right, and the 12th house finally is the 3 of diamonds. What's in the 12th house? Well, either heaven or hell. I think we're going to go for heaven, are we not? I think we're going to go for heaven. 3 of diamonds. A square beginning to take form. A square. These are the foundation matters. It takes 4. It takes a square for something solid. Fame. Your expertise has been discovered and you are now recognized. Use this for your benefit of all those involved. Let stability emerge in your life. The square, stability refers to the square. You can't have a 3-legged chair. We can construct it so that it'll suffice, but chairs have 4 legs. This is so that they are very stable and set. It's foundational. It's very, very, very structured. stabilizing, and we have great faith and confidence when we sit in a chair that has 4 legs. 3 legs, we have to tilt one way or the other, or we have to straddle it like a triangle. You know, I mean, it's just all crazy. But a 4 gives us a firm foundation, and it's beginning to be brightly lit on one side. Okay, so this is great. And that was the 3 of diamonds. Yes, that was our 12th house, heaven, a foundation for heaven. That's what we're going for. And your fame, you are being looked to. You are that star in the sky that people pause and look to their ideal. They will see you. Be assured, you do have people who are looking to you now for direction. And who is our overseer of the future? And let's go to, I think I might have made a mistake, folks. Yes, I did make a mistake. Okay, let me straighten something out in our minds. Okay, let me straighten something out in our minds. We don't want this to go down. Okay. All right, here's what I need to straighten out for you. When I talked about karma upwards only, arrest, that you can arrest something. Okay, so what you need to grab a hold of here is you need to grab a hold of your fame, because this is the future. This is the future overseer. Okay. I called it the past overseer. It's not. The past is time. The future is space. And the present is intelligence. So let's get this straightened out. Let's get the overseer straightened out. And I apologize. I'm a student just like you, learning. The 8 of spades, the spearhead pointed upwards. Arrest. Don't continue in an unwanted direction. Don't be part of those conversations. Refuse to be a part of those things. Stop it. Arrest those things. Refuse all but karma upward. This is our future overseer telling us how to behave in the future. The past. The past overseer is the 2 of spades, yellow flowers that fade when picked. If you choose to pick that old conversation up and rehash it again, if you choose to be a part of those things the way you were patterned to do it in the past, they will fade. They will not. You will not be vital. You will not be alive. But remember, your advantage will be in a delay. Always give yourself 24 hours before you react to something so that you can respond instead. Count to 10. In a moment you want to blurt out something nasty. Karma upwards only is pointing us back to these yellow flowers that fade when picked. It is to your advantage to delay here. Don't see it as a negative. Wait and be still until you know. So if it's a matter of counting to 10, if it's a matter of giving yourself 24 hours before you respond in an email, if it's a matter of giving yourself 24 hours before you make a decision, whatever it is, give yourself that delay, that time out, so that you can respond instead of react. Then you will be able to seize your intelligence. Okay. That's the reading for this new moon. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be studying it, posting things on it, as always, for you. I'll be filling it in here and coming up with one additional card, our key card, which tells us how to unlock all of this. So I hope you look for that on Instagram, Namaste, or excuse me, on our closed Facebook group, Namaste, and I will talk with you soon. This is Sage and out. Bye-bye. If you like, bye-bye.